Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What's the hardest, would you rather, question you've ever been asked? Would you rather fuck a goat and no one knows it happened, or everyone thinks you fucked a goat but you didn't actually fuck it? First one, obviously. Win-win. It's him, officer, police car man, police officer, oncoming police car, revolving light. I mean, if everyone is gonna think I fucked a goat, I might as well have done it anyway. That's a worse option than either listed. Verizon's call center hiring process included a questionnaire. Unlike most questionnaires where there is an obvious answer, Verizon had a list of would you rather questions with no discernible upside. Would you rather work longer hours or deal with unruly customers, sort of choices. Anyway, I passed every part of their hiring process except that, which they stated made me immediately ineligible for hire. Because of the questionnaire, I feel like I dodged a bullet. Though, edit. Since this blew up, I'm going to add my theory on why they did it like this. I suspect it is a variable answer set depending on what they needed. Management would send HR what they were looking for, and HR would key in the desired responses. Short-staffed. Answer A. Someone who doesn't mind overtime. Getting beat up on call reviews. B. And plan on cutting weak reps once staffing won't be dire afterwards. Would you rather try and dodge a bullet or work in a Verizon call center? I'd rather get shot than work in a call center. I think this is a pretty popular one. But it's, would you rather find a person or 1,000 cockroaches in your attic? Quote. That's easy for me. It depends on the person, but either way it's a lot easier to be friends with and help a person or kill one. It's hard to do either to 1,000 cockroaches. Note to self. Don't go in your attic. Edit. Thanks for the gold whoever you are. I'll go in your attic anytime. 1,000 cockroaches, no contest for me. I can hire someone to take care of them and forget about it a week later. On the other hand, I will never feel safe again if I found a random person living inside my house without my consent. No one said, living. Would you rather have denim skin, or live in a bag of milk? This was asked at a party in college and I still think about it 10 years later. Edit to address some very fair questions. You can't leave. It's a bubble boy scenario. Not a house. You're the only one living in the bag of milk, no one can enter. The milk is cleaned, changed out when it needs to be. There is no loophole where you drink the milk and you no longer live in a bag of milk, sorry. I like this one for the sheer weirdness value. Agreed. Would you rather sweat mayonnaise or not be able to tell the difference between a muffin or a baby? Quote. Also falls under this category. Denim skin. I don't see how this is even up for debate. Clearly denim skin. Would you rather have legs as long as your fingers, or fingers as long as your legs? Fingers as long as legs, and now chop chop. But what if the finger joints are proportional to their new length, so if you cut them down to normal finger size it would mean you have 10 stiff, inarticulable digits on your hands. Babe, just use your finger. Had someone at a rave ask, would you rather give the first 90% of a blowjob, or the last 10%? This one's devastating. What do you mean? I can only pick one. How much would it take for you to suck a dick? Man, I'd pay anything to suck a dick. Quote. Depending on who is receiving said blowjob, 90% may only be a few seconds. There are a disturbing amount of questions in here that involve fucking your parents. The more I read the worse it gets. Take a break, weirdos. Would you rather poop a pineapple or pee a grape? I don't want to play this game anymore, tired. I'll just put you down for peeing a pineapple. After experiencing a kidney stone last year, 100% poop a pineapple. Pineapples are sharp, and solid, and inflexible. And sharp. A grape would basically be a soft kidney stone. Maybe slightly larger on average, but much preferred in my opinion. Fluent in all languages or master of every instrument. All languages, without a doubt. The language one is more useful. However, as a musician, I can't pass up the opportunity to master all instruments. I feel like that one would be way more fun, and also more profitable. Finally, a wholesome one. I like this one. Edit. I would pick the fluent in all languages. Would make traveling the world much easier. The language one seems way more convenient. You'd be able to have way more fun traveling the world. Yeah, but think how cool it would be to whip out your Tibetan lute at parties. I came here looking for fun fantasies and just found so much pain. A nipple-sized dick or dick-sized nipples. Laughs with micro penis, you have no power here. Laughs in macro nipples, you have no power here. I mean, I'm a woman, so technically already have the former. Would you rather be blind or deaf? It seems like an easy choice to say, deaf, since it would seem to be much less difficult to navigate the world being deaf than blind. But I once had a blind friend, who was not born blind and had only become so around age 17. Who told me she'd still rather be blind than deaf because being deaf sounded very lonely. I still think about that conversation sometimes. You know, I don't think being deaf sounds like anything at all. I mean, say what you want about deaf people. I have taught students with both visual impairments and hearing impairments. And a few deaf-blind. It's not what you think though. It's usually low vision and hard of hearing. I can say definitively that the world is not made for people who are blind. We love to slap on Braille on things like that solves the problem. Since the majority of people who are blind do not know Braille, and since they would have a hard time getting to the freaking Braille because of lack of public transportation, the Braille often just sits there. Unless you have a very trusted sighted guide, spouse, parent, etc., you are vulnerable to abuse. This is not to say that the world is made for the deaf either, but the kids with VI were much more susceptible to being abused simply because they could not identify their attacker. Or at least that was the perception of the abuser. My sister was deaf, she passed, and she always said she was proud to be deaf. She could interact with the world just fine almost all of the time. Especially since we have the internet and smartphones now. There's a really solid deaf community out there as well. I would much rather be deaf, even after watching all her experiences.